Hey, it's me, MLB. Here's chapter 101 of Rapid Fate Online, and this one's titled Goodbye. Tamaki was out the door in a second, with many softly spoken apologies, of course, and with bag tightly in hand as he broke into a run to make it back to class on time. It was as the bell rang to end lunch that he entered the school grounds and ran to his locker. Should I leave it in my locker or take it with me? He paused, wondering what to do. I'll take it with me so I have it close. He quickly removed the small ring boxes from the bag and placed them into his pocket, then pushed his hands into his pockets as well and walked quickly to the classroom. Jiki! You greeted brightly when you saw his sweaty, roughed-up form enter the classroom. Whoa! You're sweaty. Where did you go? He froze, hands shaking in his pockets as the reality of him not coming up with a cover story loomed over him. Everyone sit down, please. Class is in session, the teacher called, and reluctantly you took your seat, still watching Tamaki, who quickly avoided eye contact and sat down. That's really strange. It's unlike him to run off and not tell me where he's going. Now, the teacher said, calling your attention to the front of the room. You all have the chance to write down your selections for your application now. Please pull your papers out and start with your most desired new graduate location, bearing in mind that... He continued talking about different places, and your eyes wandered to the sheet before you, while your thoughts wandered to Tamaki. I didn't even get a chance to ask where he was going to intern. You looked across at him. He was looking at you. Who are you writing down? You mouthed to him. He blinked at you from under his fringe, shaking his head as he didn't understand your mouthed words. Who? You mouthed again, holding the paper up and pointing at it. Yin, please pay attention to your task. This is your future, and if you don't take it seriously, it will greatly impact your life. The teacher looked at you sternly. You nodded sheepishly and put the paper down, and looked down into your lap. Ugh, teachers. You sat there scowling into your hands, then glanced up at Tamaki again, who was once again watching you. The way he was looking at you told you that he was trying to tell you something, but he wasn't moving at all, so it was hard to tell. Then you remembered. Quirk. You nodded at him and waited till he wrote something down on the paper, then he stopped and glanced at you. Taking a breath in, you got ready to activate, then quickly did so and held it active, jumping to his seat and jumping back quickly. Fat gum, okay, you thought, having seen that name on the paper as you swapped back to your body and deactivated your quirk. You nodded at him and smiled, writing Fat Gum down. Tamaki smiled to himself, then remembered the rings in his pocket and froze. Did she feel them? He glanced at you again, but you were deep in thought, writing down other names on the list. Assured that you hadn't felt them, he relaxed and wrote a few other options down, then got up to hand his paper in. After finishing, you too handed your paper in, then went back to your desk, smiling at Tamaki as you sat down. You looked over at your bestie as you sat there and saw how dejected she looked. She hadn't filled the paper out. Oh, that's right. She's leaving, so she doesn't need to fill it out. As you watched, you saw her wipe a sole tear from her eye and your heart broke. These last few weeks have probably been torturous for her, knowing she's leaving and not being able to do anything about it. Your face fell as you watched her, so you determined that you would have the best time together that night to give her a proper send-off. Jiki, you called as you ran over to his locker after school that day. I'm sorry, I won't be able to dive today. And I won't be able to walk home with you either. Bestie leaves this weekend, and she wants to hang out, and I think I should because she looked really sad in class this afternoon. I don't want to regret anything before she leaves. And, yeah, so I'll see you tomorrow. Wait, it's the weekend. Sunday, he said softly. Can we see each other on Sunday? You nodded rapidly with a grin. Yeah, okay. I'll text you, okay? And with that you took off, waving goodbye as you ran. Tamaki raised his hand to wave back, but you had already raced off, so he let out a soft exhale and placed his hand in his pockets, clutching the small ring box there. I can't wait to give this to her. That night was bittersweet for you. You and your bestie had a great time hanging out, but the fact that her room was nearly empty and suitcases laid out along one wall really killed the vibe. Hey, so updates on RFO? She suddenly asked. Well, I'm contracted to this chick who has the hots for Praetorian, Tamaki's guard contractor person, and I want to get them together because they'd look so cute together. Is that what the mission's about? To get people together? She asked cheekily. No, this is a side quest, you joked. As for main mission, we haven't really had much success. It's going to be hard to find the person at the top. They either keep to themselves and they keep a low profile, or this syndicate is so big it's just a massive web and no one ever knows who's at the top. Your bestie thought for a moment. What has your contractor got you doing? Well, cooking at the moment. She says she supplies for BB and their trips and stuff. Well, that's good. See if you can find out if the big guns are going to have some kind of meeting that needs food or something. Okay. Might be a stretch, but I'll see if there's any events she can cater for. You'll have to text me and tell me how it goes, she said with a soft smile. You softened as well and smiled gently back at her. I will. Tears brimmed in her eyes, and yours sprung a leak as you both fell in towards each other and hugged for the longest time, tears flowing freely. And there ends chapter 101. Stay tuned for chapter 102.